Am I missing out on part of Jesus when I only receive his body at Mass? When our Lord gave us the gift of the Eucharist, he said those words at the Last Supper, "This is my body. This is the chalice of my blood." And so, because he said, "This is my body" over bread, we call it the body of Christ. And because he said, "This is the chalice of my blood" over the wine, we call that the blood of Christ, because indeed, he is present there. He has changed the bread and wine into his body and blood. He miraculously suspends the extension and appearance of bread and wine in existence, but the entire reality of bread and wine have been stripped out from underneath that appearance, and he's become fully present there. When I say fully present, I mean completely and entirely present under the appearances of bread and wine. Because over the bread, he said those words, "This is my body." And so his flesh becomes present there, but not dead flesh. It's his living flesh as he lives in heaven. And because his flesh is alive, that means his blood is present there, his soul is present there, his divinity is present there, his entire person is present there under the appearance of bread. And with the wine, he says, "This is the chalice of my blood." And so by the power of those words, his blood becomes present. But again, this is a living blood. And because it's his blood alive in heaven, that means his body is there, his soul is there, his divinity is there, his entire person is there as well. And so that means that the only difference between the two forms of the Eucharist, what looks like bread and looks like wine, is merely what they look like, because the entire reality underneath them of bread and wine have been pulled away, and Jesus has become present. That means when you receive the Eucharist only under one appearance, under the sacred host form would be the normal way to only receive in one appearance, you're already not only eating his flesh, you're drinking his blood. You're receiving Jesus entirely through the gift of the Eucharist. Our Lord's so good to give us the gift of the Eucharist. So I encourage you, thank him for this gift of the Eucharist. Thank him for giving us the gift of himself in the Eucharist in his entirety and uniting us with himself in heaven. Reach out your heart to the nearest tabernacle right now. Thank him for this gift and ask him to come more deeply into your heart. God bless you all.